So in this segment, we're going to be talking about supermarket food shortages. Will be over by Christmas, according to the government. Now, I remember reading in the old history books that there was a certain event that they said would be over by Christmas. You'd be home by Christmas. Do you guys remember what that was? It was World War One. They said it would be over by Christmas. You'd be back, and it lasted for like 4 years. I'm going to say, it's 1914 to like 1918 or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, not important. The government are blatantly lying here, especially since we've seen experts say it's going to last into 2022, which goes way past Christmas. So yeah, the government, it's going to hit Christmas. There's going to be shortages, and I don't know who they're going to blame at that point. Are they going to blame the pandemic again? I think they could blame the pandemic again. So supermarket food shortages will be over by Christmas. Number 10 says rejecting industry warnings that shoppers must get used to permanent gaps on the shelves. Well, we do, because we don't have the lorry drivers, and they're not going to be trained until like next year at the earliest. Also, we don't have enough meat processors and other staff to do other things, so it's going to happen. It's going to last way past Christmas, so I don't know what these men are on, but yeah. No doubt they'll move the goalpost to the summer, and then they'll move the next goalpost to Christmas again. That's what's going to happen here. So the Independent used a weird phrase which said Boris Johnson's spokesperson set up the hostage to fortune. I don't know what that means, as he dismissed an extraordinary claim that the days when people could pick up almost any item they wanted whenever they want are over. Well, they kind of are, because we're having massive shortages. The gloomy boss of the Food and Drink Federation said there was no prospect of the problems triggered by a combination of Brexit and COVID ending quickly. It's going to get worse, and it's not going to get better after getting worse anytime soon, Ian Wright told an events organisation. So it's going to get worse and continue to get worse way before it can get better. That's what's going to happen. Especially when the bad months hit, the bad weather comes in. Grim. The result of the labour shortage is that the just-in-time system that has sustained supermarkets, convenience stores and restaurants, so the food has arrived on the shelves or in the kitchen just when you need it. It's no longer working, and that's dead for manufacturing as well. The just-in-time model is done. It's over. That time is gone, and once we start doing import checks, if we ever do import checks, it's going to be even more dead at that point. They go on to say, and I don't think it will work again. I think we will see. We are now in for permanent shortages, which is grim, especially in a quote developed country. But quizzed by the Independent, the Prime Minister's spokesperson rejected the warning, saying, "We don't recognise those claims. We have got a highly resilient food." And again, they come up with the same lie each time, and it's not true, because if it's so resilient, why are we having shortages now? It doesn't make sense. Pressed on whether the shortages will ease to allow people to enjoy a normal Christmas, the spokesperson replied, "I believe so, yes." How do you define a normal Christmas? Are you guaranteeing a turkey in every pot? What do you mean by that? Because it doesn't look very normal from where I'm sitting. Number 10, let me pause that. Number 10's confidence comes despite the CBI business group warning the labour shortages blamed for the gaps on the shelves and restaurant menus could continue to last up to 2 years. So that's the longest forecast I've seen, 2 years. So you're saying 2023? It's going to last until 2023? Like, that's madness. That's like the end of 2023, pretty much. That's crazy to have food shortages last for that long. You're talking next election territory. Despite gathering criticisms, the government has rebuffed the claims to loosen immigration rules to attract more HGV drivers, in saying we should stop relying on bloody foreigners and hire British people who don't have the expertise to drive lorries, hence why they have to be trained, hence why we have a shortage, because it's taking so long. However, the fear of creating a bigger crisis is expected to see the government shelve full post-Brexit import checks, which they have done. I think we'll talk about that at some point if I've got that lined up in the old schedule. But yeah, if we're so resilient and so ready, start doing import checks like we're meant to do as a WTO member. We took back control. Where are our Brexit import checks? That's not going to happen either, is it? Until we get sued, which, again, I'm not sure what other WTO members are waiting for. However, the fear of creating a bigger crisis expected. Mr. Wright said shop shortages did not mean the country is ever going to run out of food, which is true. There's no guarantee we'll have to go back to rationing, despite the gleeful comments from people in the YouTube comment section. I don't think we'll go back to rationing. but it's not great when you have to make a claim like that. And I don't think we'll go back to rationing. It's like, well, how bad is it going to be then if you're saying a line like that? But he warned the UK shopper and consumer could have previously expected just about every product they want to be on the shelf or in the restaurant all the time. That's over. I don't think it's coming back. You're going to have more kind of smaller limited menus in restaurants, and I've no idea what the hell's going to happen in supermarkets. We're already seeing a shortage of fresh fruit and vegetables. I don't know how it's going to get much worse than that. I guess prices will increase, and we don't really buy meat from the supermarket, so I don't know what else they could take. Maybe my fish fingers, who knows. The food and drinks industry is short of around 500,000 workers, he said, meaning it's missing about 1 in 8. The total people are in terms of, so he's talking more than 10%, talking a way more than 10% shortage in workers, which again is going to push food prices up because they're going to be scarcities. The death was partially due to EU nationals leaving the UK and because of the pandemic, because of course everything's to do with that. The lack of lorry drivers is partly caused by them moving to online retailers and starting to deliver for Amazon and Tesco's to get better hours and pay. So what you're going to get is the old shuffle where drivers are just going to be shuffling around to different industries. That's going to be a huge problem. So yeah, overall, the government saying this is going to be over by Christmas. It's not going to be over by Christmas. It's going to last easily into next year and potentially 2023, depending on who you listen to, the CBI or Logistics UK or whoever, or whomever, should I say. But my prediction is going to last until 2023, until we get some semblance of normality. I don't know. Normality, that's the word. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.